There are no cases of the Mondays here at Starfire Stadium in Tequila, Washington, just USL soccer action, as tonight Seattle Sounders FC 2 plays host to the Oklahoma City Energy. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Delighted to have you with us after this Father's Day weekend. I'm Andrew Harvey. He's Aaron Heinzen. And Aaron, these are two teams that are really looking to capture some momentum here.
Yeah, exciting game tonight, Andrew. Both these teams sitting right next to each other in the standings. They're level on points. Winner goes all the way up to close to fourth place, so big-time game tonight for both these sides. S2, especially since they're going on the road here for quite a while, so they'll need the victory tonight.
Yeah, they've been very good at home recently, have S2, but a premier challenge for them tonight coming in the form of a former Sounders 2 player himself, Andy Craven, making the trip back to Tequila.
Yep, Andy Craven back in it. He had 8 goals here in his 2 seasons. Of course, his first year was a little bit of injury. Came back strong as ever. Very, very exciting player. Causes all kinds of problems for the back line. Very, very fast. Makes runs in behind. Smart player, Andy Craven. Looking to cause some damage tonight for Oklahoma City Energy. It's going to be a little different for him on the other side of the bench, but exciting tonight to see him back here at Starfire.
Oklahoma City will be without the services as we take a moment here to pause for the playing of our national anthem. Well, now that we're back, as I was saying, Oklahoma City without Vucic, premier striker, picked up a brace of goals and win against Phoenix Rising. What does Craven have to do to fill that gap?
Well, he just needs to continue to work hard. You're going to see him work hard against the back line up top. Try and make these little runs, unsettle the center backs. Just hold the ball up for Oklahoma City, see if they can cause some more problems. He's not the big player like Vucic, who wins those headers. He's very strong up top. He's a little bit different, quicker, but that's his job as a forward, keep the ball up top for them and see if he can cause the problems for S2 at the back line.
Well, S2 has their own player who's very strong up top, and that is Irvin Parra, the team's leading scorer.
Yeah, Parra, 5 goals so far this season. He missed the trip down to Texas. Obviously had his 5 yellow card suspension. He is now back. Had a little bit of a performance at the US Open Cup last week against Portland Timbers. And Irvin Parra in the starting lineup tonight, looking to cause some damage. Last time he was here against Los Dos LA Galaxy 2, 2 goals, 1 assist, was an absolute monster. So look for him to be very effective again tonight.
So both of our featured players coming off a brace of goals in their last outing, and they'll both be dangerous tonight. The other player for S2 you have to keep an eye on a yellow card, risk of yellow card suspension, I should say. Ray Sari is sitting at 4 right now, but he's the only player on the pitch that is running the risk of potentially earning a 1-game suspension tonight.
Yeah, Ray Sari's filled just about every single minute for S2 this season and been a huge player, but yeah, you're right. He's sitting on 4 yellow cards, so it's probably only a matter of time that he's going to get one. You just never know, but Sari, obviously, huge part of it, partnering with Francisco Narbonne. Ezra Hendrickson really likes that partnership, those guys, keeping the middle solid, keeping the team consistent, and that's something that S2 has needed last year, that they do have this year. So Ray Sari, a huge part of the team. You'll just have to take it easy, and eventually that yellow card's going to come, but when that happens, who knows?
Absolutely. Time now to take a look at our starting lineups. First for the visiting Oklahoma City Energy. And Aaron, apart from Andy Craven, who else really jumps out here?
Well, you got to take a look at Miguel Gonzalez. He was at Colorado Springs last year. He's a Seattle U man, local guy from Yelm. He's back in the starting lineup there, and big change there at the defensive area. Mickey Daly is in place. He has not played on the outside back all that often in place of Highland. He's out for tonight's game. And, of course, Cody Lorendi returns from international duty with Puerto Rico, so he's their starting man back in after that trip down to Indonesia.
And now taking a look at things for S2.
Felix Chankum back in the starting lineup, number 99 up top. We already mentioned Parra. Got to give a big shout out to Zach Mathers in the starting midfield there. You have the game winner against the Timbers in the US Open Cup. Charles Rankin, of course. And at the back there, Rodriguez and Sam Rogers partnering as center backs. They're going to really need to keep an eye on Craven tonight. Keep him closed down.
Your referee for this evening's match is Chippewa Street. Assistant referees Jason Hutchison and Joe Tompkins. Your fourth official is Jeff Arthurholt. Seconds away from kickoff here at Starfire Stadium. Felix Chankum over the ball for S2. Aaron, we kind of hit on it just now, but a lot of the players on this S2 lineup can be riding high right now. A lot of them made their senior team debut in that fourth round U.S. Open Cup match, 2-1 victory over the Portland Timbers, which was also a very T2 heavy lineup as well.
It was both sides kind of meeting again, and even though we talk about it, both S2 and T2 cannot play in the U.S. Open Cup, they basically did this last week. But it was a good result for them, an exciting game, and S2 move on. So, but definitely saw Kovar get the first goal for S2, and then Zach Mathers, of course, knocking in that winner.
Kovar didn't wait long, just 3 minutes in before he bagged that goal. S2 has also proven that they like to score early in games when they get the opportunity this season. We'll see if they can manage that against this Oklahoma City team tonight. But as we mentioned, these teams level on points. Oklahoma City with a game in hand, 5-5-2. All told, 17 points. Seattle Sounders, 1 loss worse at 5-6-2. That's Craven on the ball now. He dishes outside to Alex Dixon. Dixon does enough to get past Brian Nanasinka, but cannot get past. And that's Francisco Narbone on the coverage, who does enough to win a throw-in for S2. Sounders 2 in their green uniforms, moving from left to right on your screen in the first half. Narbone, Chankum. Control by Anthony Wallace. He'll send it long up the field for Miguel Gonzalez. And that one out for an S2 throw. Well, we talked individually about how they're both dangerous players, but what does this partnership of Gonzalez and Craven offer for the energy up top?
Well, they're both crafty players. They both have the skill to beat you individually. Just have to see how much time they get on the ball. It's early on, of course, but how much time they're going to get on the ball, whether they can create something early, offset S2. Of course, but watching Andy Craven the past 2 seasons, he loves to take off early and get in behind the back line. And, of course, Ezra Hendrickson will know that. He'll fill in Rodriguez. All about Craven tonight.
Craven inside for Gonzalez.
Gonzalez often played a deeper role at Colorado Springs, just underneath the back line and kind of an attacking midfielder. So
Gonzalez swings it across there, headed away by Sam Rogers. And out to Irvin Parra. Sorry for the interruption there, Aaron.
No, good sign there from Gonzalez already.
Tangle in the midfield. That's Chad Bond, who gets wrapped up to Zach Mathers. We'll touch back on him in a second. Meanwhile, here's Charles Rankin. Rankin taking on Wallace into the area. Sends it across, and Wallace right there.
That's well done by Wallace. He has been in the center back most of the time for OKC this season, and now he's at left back tonight. Mickey Daly's going to slot in that center back spot, and Kyle Highland, who's typically the left back for Oklahoma City Energy, is not in the lineup tonight.
Mathers into space. Thought about going for goal there. Couldn't wind up putting enough spin on the ball to put it on frame.
It's a good turn by Mathers. Just couldn't put it on target. He's got to be feeling good, having that game winner last week right here at Starfire.
Really exciting atmosphere in that Open Cup match. Capacity crowd, as it always is when the Sounders and Timbers find themselves facing each other in any competition. Sam Rogers in particular, center back, signed his S2 contract that day, elected that he's going to go fully pro. And, he was telling us after the game that he'd been at high school that afternoon at Ballard High picking up his yearbook as the school year was winding down.
It's quite a way to finish off the school year. It's a big decision for a young man, of course, in American soccer, but he's had a very good season so far for S2.
Felix Chankum's checked back into being onside, but was offside when the ball was sent. So he tried to outmuscle Cody Andrews there. Lorendi, Andrews. Right side from Michael Harris.
It's good to see Chenkum back. He's had that hamstring bothering him.
Ball stolen away by Para. Defended by Harris here, and Harris puts the ball out for an S2 throw-in.
Well, as mentioned, Chenkum, 7 appearances, 3 goals, including that fantastic game he had at Colorado Springs a couple weeks ago. Well, I guess a month and a half ago now.
Feels like a couple of weeks.
Yeah, it feels like a couple of weeks.
Moving real fast by us here, Aaron.
But Ezra Hendrickson's got to be happy to have him back in. Started in the Open Cup game last week.
Ball up top there for Philip Rasmussen. Won away by Ray Sari. Rogers will take some space. Left side to Brian Nanasinkum. Irvin Para goes square to Mathers. Mathers with some room to run. Wanted to play Rankin in past Wallace. Couldn't find the service. Clever black heel from Gonzalez. Ball settles at the feet of Wallace on the near sideline. That one looks like it's gone off the hand of Gonzalez, and chip below 3 degrees. Free kick for S2. Miguel Gonzalez, just one of 2 Gonzalez's in the 18 tonight. His younger brother Daniel is on the bench, and both of them were a part of the 2014 Kitsap Pumas team that finished second in the PDL, lost the national championship game. Despite being the younger brother, Daniel was with the Energy first. When Miguel finished last year with Colorado Springs, Danny got on the phone and said, "Hey, come to Oklahoma." Sorry. Mathers. Mathers will go back to Tyler Miller.
And Miguel Gonzalez had a good career at Colorado Springs as well. 11 goals, 9 assists, 53 games.
Nifty idea on the back heel there from Rankin. Couldn't get to go. Yeah, good. Miguel Gonzalez has kind of had a good career pretty much everywhere he wound up. Scored 49 goals for Peninsula College before putting in his transfer to Seattle University, where he was named the WAC's Offensive Player of the Year under the tutelage of head coach Pete Fewing. And has continued to impress as there's a foul just past midfield that brings down Irvin Para. Francisco Narbone over this ball. Goes short on the ground for Ray Sari. Craven gets a foot to it. Oklahoma City trying to counter now. S2 quickly back, and they win possession. Mathers, the give and go to Francisco Narbone, tackled away by Guzman. Only as far as Sari, who plays it out left for Brian Nanasinkum. And Nanasinkum at a full sprint realizes he's not going to get to that one.
Good ball from Sari, good idea, just a little too far ahead. You saw Andy Craven pick up that ball in the middle. He really works hard up top. Does his job, both in the attack and defensively.
Handspring throw in there. I think that was out of the hands of Michael Harris.
Yep, Michael Harris, that's what he's known for, is a UW man. Has that flip throw that's just like a corner kick. He's doing it at the University of Washington, and now doing it for Oklahoma City Energy.
Shankum with a foot in there, forces Guzman to head back, and Cody Lorendi just going to send this over everybody's heads. Rogers gets ahead to it, floats it back to Tyler Miller.
Almost a big collision there between Rogers and L. Worked out.
Header forward from Sari. Michael Daly a foot to it. Anthony Wallace brought down by Rankin. Felix Chankum. Ray Sari. Sari. Mathers. Mathers onto his left foot, and it fans off before he can make contact.
Unlucky for Mathers. Going to wind up. He had Parra to his left.
Craven wins that ball away from Mathers. Gets by Sam Rogers. Gets by Nanasinkum. Craven into the area. Tries to send it across, and Rodriguez L is back and covering.
Oh, it's a good run from Craven. Just picks it off of Mathers. You can see that speed he's got goes right at that back line. Rodriguez does well to step over and block that off, but Craven gets that first corner for the Energy.
Service in from the right side. Driven ball toward the head of Rasmussen. Irvin Parra first one to it and gets the rebound. Wallace. Back to Juan Pablo Guzman. And Michael Harris. Can't get that past Denzo Ulyssi. And Rankin does enough to keep that ball in touch. A little bit of confusion now as Oklahoma City seems certain that throw-in was for them. 11 minutes in here at Starfire Stadium. No score between S2 and the Oklahoma City Energy. Aaron, this is an S2 team that over the last couple matches, as Rankin's offside there, they really look like they've become more confident. They're kind of playing into their own.
Yeah, I think a big part of that has just been the consistency they've had so far this season, especially in the midfield. We talked about Sari and Narbonne already. But the back line with Sam Rogers, Nana Sinkum, Rodriguez has been a little bit in and out, but for the most part, these guys have had a good opportunity to gel together. Parra, big part of the attack this year. Now they've brought in Rankin. He looks positive, so.
Miguel Gonzalez fighting his way onto the end of this one, defended by L. Drop back to Guzman, and further to Wallace. Rasmussen. Chad Bond. Michael Daly. Harris. That back to Cody Andrews. Harris. Craven, defended by Narbonne. Another searching ball over the top, but it seems unlikely that Miguel Gonzalez will win many aerial battles against Sam Rogers.
Yeah, those are going to be tough ones. Unless you've got space in behind for Gonzalez or Craven, those are easily won by both Rogers and L.
That one looks like it took a deflection. There's an Energy player who went down. That's Philip Rasmussen, who fights his way back to his feet now.
I think Rasmussen just took a leg from Narbonne as he followed through. He's closing him down, almost had him.
Sorry, out wide to Rankin.
Be an interesting matchup there between Anthony Wallace on the left and Charles Rankin. Wallace, typically a center back, as I mentioned. Going to be going against a really quick Charles Rankin.
Nana Sinkum charging in there. Gets past Chad Bond along the end line. Space for a cross. Can't find a target. Only as far as Zach Mathers on the clearance. An awkward deflection on the shot. And Zach Mathers puts S2 on the board at the start of the 14th minute.
Well, this is great work from Nana Sinkum. Makes his way down the left-hand side. Let's take a look here. Picks out, no one's at the top, but the clearance is not great. Goes straight to Zach Mathers. First touch, you think he's not going to get away with it, but the deflection goes his way. It's a great finish from Zach Mathers. Take a look at it again here.
And
honestly,
honestly,
off the ground, no chance for Lorendi.
On second glance there, it looks like that might not have been a deflection. That might have just been a good old-fashioned half volley.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, he strikes down on it. Gets a nice hop off the ground, though. Cody Lorendi has no chance. The clearance straight to Mathers does really well.
So a goal in the Open Cup, a goal now. Even though that penalty kick goal was for the first team, I guess you could say that Zach Mathers red hot for the Sounders organization at the moment.
3 goals now for Mathers for S2.
S2 trying to stay on the front foot here, seeing if they can really force the energy out of their back heels. Rogers going for the big switch over to Denzo Ulysses. L up to Rankin. Sorry, Rankin has Ulysses on the overlapping run. Goes back for Sorry and across to Narbonne. Irvin Parra. Parra from distance, and that one goes off the post. Felix Jankum off the crossbar. S2 still on the front foot with Zach Mathers out in the left alley. Inside to Parra. Parra looking for a cross, and Chad Bond will do enough to clear that one away.
What an absolute blast from Parra. Let's take a look at it here. This unleashes, he's probably 35 yards out at least. Shankum's got to finish this, but just pops up a little bit on him, hits the crossbar. Huge chance there for S2.
Well, goals.
What a shot from Parra.
Goals tend to breed goals in this game, Aaron. Felix Shankum nearly bagged the second in pretty much as many minutes for S2. Just ball came up a little bit on him. Oklahoma City might be able to grab something on the counter here. It's with Philip Rasmussen. Rasmussen thought about one from distance. And short to Dixon. Guzman. And down to Wallace. Gonzalez. He's forced to retreat from tight defending.
Well, we talked about in the pregame the confidence of Parra right now, and that is a perfect example of a player that's really confident.
Mathers back on the front foot, finds Rankin in space. Wallace is out of position. Charles Rankin goes for the shot, will win a corner though.
Good ball by Mathers. Rankin's first touch kind of lets him down. 1S to a corner nonetheless. I think with Charles Rankin's speed, he just guides that right onto his right foot and takes off. Just couldn't control it quick enough, and shot was blocked.
Zach Mathers set to take this corner kick from the right side. And Chippewa Street wants a word. Chippewa Street allowing the anticipation to build here at Starfire Stadium in the 18th minute. Short run up from Mathers, near post, headed away by Harris as far as Gonzalez. Gonzalez trying to play it out to Rasmussen, but Nana Sinkum comes away with the ball. Irvin Parra. Parra trying to cut back to his right. And on the 50-50, that ball's still right there on the end line. And finally out for an S2 throw. Kind of seemed like everyone was expecting a call on both teams. Oklahoma City was expecting a foul on Parra. Parra was expecting a foul from the opposition. Everyone just forgot about the ball. Rasmussen up to Craven, and now we have a whistle.
Well, Rasmussen is still talking about the foul earlier, or what he perceived as a foul. Oklahoma City just unable to clear their lines at the moment, kind of stuck back there. See if they can't get some momentum going.
They have the benefit of a free kick now. Michael Daly, the man over the ball. He just goes short to Rasmussen. Daly back to Lorendi. 3 S2 players converging, including Felix Chankum. Forces a quick play from Lorendi. That ball goes over the head of Ulysses. Settled by Gonzalez. Inside from Wallace. Wallace, a first touch, manages to put it in front of himself toward the left alley. Ulysses recovers to defend. That cross smashes off Ulysses and is out for a throw.
Good recovery from Ulysses. Probably should win that header the first time so he doesn't have to do all that running back there, but nice recovery from the young man.
Rankin gets a foot in there for a tackle. It's only out for another energy throw. Wallace taking a longer windup this time all the way onto the blacktop. Spins this one toward net. Ulysses with the header. To Guzman, back to Wallace. Flag stays down, inside for Guzman. And Guzman can't keep it in play. And now the flag up for offside. Took the far side assistant referee a second to think about it, but did call Wallace offside. One of the difficulties of those really deep attacking throw-ins is that you essentially lose an attacker as soon as he throws the ball in because you can't throw it back. "20 minutes in here at Starfire Stadium. S2 on top, 1-0. Ulysses heads that ball down for Sari. Narbonne has Rasmussen on his back. Ulysses couldn't keep control of the ball, but did keep it in play. Now it's up with Craven. Gonzalez wanted a quick ball from Craven. S2 wins it away. Rankin. Sari.
You could see why Ray Sari, just even with 4 yellow cards, just playing every minute for S2. Does so well to get out of little spaces, keep the ball for the team, wins it back very well. For me, so far, he's been one of the best players on S2 this season.
You always want your defensive midfielders to be some of your smartest players on the field. Ray Sari probably easily eclipses that bar, just sees the game so well. Cody Andrews. He's going to spin one over the top. Craven chests it. Rodriguez L takes it right off the foot of Philip Rasmussen. Rogers. Para. And Para decides to reset back to Tyler Miller.
That was a good run from Rasmussen on that attack, but Craven just couldn't pick him out. OKC going to need to get a little possession here, otherwise they're going to be chasing this game the whole time.
Ball to the right side for Charles Rankin. Rankin is pressing forward. He'll spin an early cross. Shankham goes down. He's looking for a call. Not going to get it, though. It's out for a goal kick.
Oh, Rankin's just waiting for Shankham to make that run. He does. He just puts it in just a little bit behind him. It's going to be really tough for Shankham to get anything on frame. Ball's just half a yard behind him.
Goal kick from Lorendi. Craven underneath it. Deflects off the head of L. Irvin Parra trying the quick ball over the top. Felix Shankham rushing in there. Outstretches his arm, trying to slow up Andrews, but still can't get to it.
And again, just like Andy Craven for Oklahoma City, Felix Shankham works so hard up top there for S2. Chasing everything down. Sorry, Andrew.
Both wear the number 99 for their squad. Not that that's particularly indicative of anything, but a history of fast, high-pressure guys for S2 wearing that number. Rogers going on a run up the left side. Has Nanasinka ahead of him. Over to Nanasinkum, who is offside. So a free kick upcoming for Oklahoma City.
Yeah, Nanasinkum just maybe needed that ball a little bit early from Sam Rogers, but you really have to watch that line. Put himself in a great position. Sometimes get lost where exactly you are on the field. Especially as an outside back, you don't always think to look for offsides all the time.
Very experienced back line for the Energy here. Michael Harris, the youngest, on it at 25. Wallace and Daly both 28. Andrews 29 as this ball falls to the foot of Zach Mathers out top the 18. Was looking for that left that he likes so well. Wallace gets to it. One away by Narbonne, and his first touch turns it back over, this time to Miguel Gonzalez. Gonzalez past midfield. Showing some speed of his own and goes down. Francisco Narbonne has fouled him.
It's an interesting situation here. Narbonne just losing possession, does well to get back. Here's Miguel Gonzalez flying at the S2 back line. And it's a little bit of contact, not a lot. You know, hand on the hand on the arm. Gonzalez chooses to go down, gets the call.
And one of the realities of the game.
Anytime a player feels contact, it's going to go down. Big chance here for Oklahoma City.
Anthony Wallace currently standing over the ball along with Phil Rasmussen. We'll see what kind of set piece OKC can serve up. Rasmussen runs up, he'll take it, curls it towards net, it zips just over the bar. So the man from Copenhagen, with really his first offensive activity of the game, nearly puts one on frame.
Yeah, good power from Rasmussen, just couldn't keep it down. Again, that right foot, left foot, keeping the goalkeeper guessing. Could have been Wallace, could have been Rasmussen.
Sorry, flicks on the long ball from Miller. Rogers. Sorry. Ulysses. Mathers spins out of pressure. So does Chankum. And now, after allowing advantage and a hefty challenge to the back of Irvin Parra, Chippewa Street awards a free kick at the edge of the attacking third.
Now he's just going to wait for that final pass, and when he saw that Rankin wasn't going to get to it, nice work by Chankum to shield off Andrews, and that's where the foul occurred.
S2 really likes this spot from a free kick perspective. Irvin Parra and Ray Sari have both served up balls that have been scored from pretty much this spot exactly.
Yeah, keep an eye on Sam Rogers and Brian Nanasinkum back there. Nanasinkum scored from one just like this.
Irvin Parra is going to run over this ball. It'll be Mathers to take it. Casual chip to the backside. It's sent towards frame, but the flag up. So even though Lorendi did enough to stop it, he'll have a free kick. Lorendi going to take his time and wave everyone downfield.
Lorendi got a clean sheet in that friendly for Puerto Rico. Exciting opportunity for him.
Rankin controls that ball, gets it inside to Narbonne. Lorendi, his Puerto Rico will miss out on the Gold Cup, but all the same, when you're getting called up to your national team, it's always a good thing, and clean sheets are something of his specialty. He set a franchise record for Oklahoma City last season. 12 clean sheets he kept for the Energy.
Part of their great season last year. It's been a little bit of a different story this year for Oklahoma City, just unable to find the target.
Miller set to take this kick. Long ball, too tall for Chankum. Irvin Parra, a touch to settle. Trying to spin away, and that an easy call for Chippewa Street.
Parra just turns out of it, gets taken down. A free kick chance here for S2.
See if they can do more with it than their first opportunity.
There's a look at Felix Chankum. He's got to be still thinking about that chance he had earlier. It's a big one. Still plenty of time.
Parra and Ray Sari over the ball. Parra has the better angle. Whistle goes. Ray Sari runs over it. Irvin Parra sends this one towards net and misses wide of the left post.
That's a good effort from Parra, just a little bit wide. Thought for a minute he was going to pick out Ray Sari just to get around the wall, but when player from the Oklahoma City wall broke off, so he chooses to go for goal, maybe in that space that he just left. Clever free kick from S2.
Aaron, in your experience, do you find that when a player has a great shot like Para had that goes off the post and you miss but not by much, does that increase your confidence or does it get you frustrated?
No, it increases your confidence for sure. I mean, not many times are you shooting that far out, 35 plus, and finding it almost going in. So he's feeling it tonight for sure.
I'll look at the foul here. That's Guzman, who gets a lot of Mathers and a little of the ball.
And what's fun about this particular S2 team tonight is you got the speed of Chankum, Rankin on the side, and then you've got Mathers and Para clever on the ball. They find spaces, pick people out. It's a good combination in the attack for S2.
Speak of cleverness, how about that back heel from Nana Sinkum right there? Couldn't find Irvin Para on the connection, but great team chemistry from S2. And one thing that kind of stuck out to me is the fact that now that Sam Rogers is another of those front flip throw-ins from Harris. Always good to mug for the cameras a little bit. But as Sam Rogers has gotten more confident on the ball, notice how much more Nana Sinkum is free to go upfield.
Yeah, Nana Sinkum pushed out on the left there, and yeah, he has to attack from that spot. That's part of the job. This is where Harris's long throws become a real problem.
Low ball served in there. That one flicked on. Andy Craven on the end of it. Tyler Miller a stop right at the goal line, and Sam Rogers dishes it into touch on the near side. Well, you talk about how it's a problem, and instant proof.
Yeah, it's a great save there from Miller.
Gonzalez has dribbled that ball inside the box, as you see a replay there.
Good reaction for S2 to be able to clear it out right away. Oklahoma City just no one around. Miller gets a hand to it. S2 cleared away, but they're going to have to win those headers right away, get that ball out before it slips through. Another opportunity like that.
Oklahoma City maybe smelling blood in the water a little bit here. Trying to fly downfield to get on the end of these here in the 32nd minute.
That just makes it seem like the Energy have had a dozen corner kicks from them. Perhaps they've only had 3, but Harris's throw-ins, just basically the same thing.
Here comes another. This one served up almost to the 6 over everybody's head. Gonzalez gives chase. Defended by Sari. Back for Wallace. Dixon. Andrews. Back to Daly to reset. Daly up to Bond. Harris. Wallace calling for it on the far side. Rasmussen now. Guzman. Back outside for Rasmussen. And Irvin Para chops in there with a foot. Whistle goes for a foul. And a yellow card given to Irvin Para.
Well, Para's playing a little dangerous here. He wins the tackle, obviously a little bit frustrated, and bangs the ball off Rasmussen's back. Take a look at it here again. Just catches him there. You know, he's frustrated at himself. Has to be careful there, Para. Another big free kick opportunity here for Oklahoma City.
Looks to be Chad Bond over the ball. And pretty much the rest of his team setting up at the back post at the 18. Bond sends this one toward net. Miller up in the air and not seriously challenged by that one. S2 thinking about a counter here. Outside for Ray Sari. Narbonne. Near side for Denzo Ulysses. Ulysses threw on the ground up to Chankum. Chankum can't hold on to it. Attempted clearance, takes a deflection. Won back by Charles Rankin. Rankin to the foot of Zach Mathers, can't control it with his first touch.
Mathers, I don't think thought that was going to get through.
Rankin has Ulysses on the overlap. Guzman is down behind the play. Ray Sari pressing forward. Sari into space. Ball to flick away from Daly. And now whistle goes. Yellow card out of his pocket, and he's going to issue it to Ray Sari there. And he also wants a word with Chippewa Street, and it's a red card. Chippewa Street just issued a red card to Miguel Gonzalez for putting his hand in the face of Ray Sari.
And he's done it right in front of Chippewa Street. He's talking to Miguel Gonzalez right now. This is a huge decision. We mentioned, take a look at it here. There's Sari, that's an obvious yellow card. That'll be his 5th, and you could see Miguel Gonzalez lift his forearm and push away. If I'm honest, Andrew, I think it's just a little bit harsh. He didn't lash out. He just puts his forearm in his face. Yes, it 100% is a yellow card for Miguel Gonzalez, but I can't stand here and say that that's definitely a red card.
I tend to agree, Aaron. I'd say he was up in the head area, but you know, I don't think there really was that contact. I don't know if we can justify that.
Right, he's been held back. It's frustrating. He's trying to get away. Clear yellow card from Sari. He's just trying to push off him. He puts his elbow in him. I can see what Chippewa Street's looking at. I understand because Gonzalez does actually throw in, but he doesn't aim at his face. He just wants to get him away. It's a little bit harsh, but nonetheless, now 10 men, Oklahoma City really find themselves in a hole. On that same token, S2 are going to have to settle down here just a little bit. Both Parra and Sari with yellow cards here.
Yeah, and what gets lost in all that, which won't matter until next week, but Ray Sari, that's his 5th, so he'll be serving a 1-game suspension for that one.
But it's not just the yellow cards early on, it's the way they came about. Parra kicking the ball into Rasmussen, and now Sari for holding Gonzalez back. Just need to relax a little bit. You're up 1-0, you've had good play.
And unsurprisingly, perhaps, Oklahoma City coach Jimmy Nielsen has some strong words for 4th official Jeff Arthur-Holtz over on the far sideline.
I think he's probably thinking the same thing. We've been talking about it, Perry. You can see Gonzalez puts his arm up there, but it's not incredibly violent. It's just trying to push the guy off.
Ball looped over to the side. Settled by Wallace. So now how do both of these teams respond to this development? Less than 10 to go until the break.
Well, S2 obviously going to try and command possession here, put Oklahoma City under as much pressure as possible, get one more before half.
Narbonne back to L. Narbonne goes up top to Brian Nanasinkum, who's on the end of that ball. Nanasinkum into the air, lays it off for Irvin Parra. Parra gets to it, goes down, and it's a penalty. 38th minute, and from bad to worse for Oklahoma City.
It's all going wrong right now. Just take a look here. There's the tackle from Bond. He knows it, no argument. Catches Parra on his back foot. Parra just gets there first, no doubt about it. Easy call for Chippewa Street. Penalty for S2. You could see Parra wanted to take that penalty kick as well, but Zach Mathers steps up.
Whistle goes, stagger step, left side, and scored under a diving Cody Lorendi. Zach Mathers has his 2nd goal of the match.
Mathers finishes them well. 2nd in as many games here for Zach Mathers. Just a little stutter step, puts it right in the corner. It's a great goal. That definitely takes some pressure off S2 tonight. Just puts it in the far corner. Lorendi actually looks like he gets a finger to it as well, but good effort from him. But nice finish from Zach Mathers. S2 in full control now, 11 men on 10, up 2-0. They're just going to hope to pile things on if they can. Only takes one for Oklahoma City to get right back in this. How they're going to do that, I'm not really sure, Andrew.
I imagine he might be wearing orange cleats and wearing the number 99. Andy Craven still trying to test that back line when he can, but especially losing the skill on the ball of Miguel Gonzalez. You know, it's such a bad loss. He had such great pace in those opening runs.
Well, they can also hope to pick up a couple deep throw-ins again, get Michael Harris in there. We haven't heard anything at all tonight from Alex Dixon. He's got 2 goals as well for Oklahoma City.
Yeah, Jimmy Nielsen will need his winger to kind of step up and get more involved, as here's a ball into the middle for Chankum. Chankum into the area. He pokes that one up off Lorendi to the end line and touched out of play by Mickey Daly, who is more than happy to concede a corner there.
Daly had to get there. Rankin was right behind him. This is just a case now Oklahoma City want this first half to end. Get into the locker room. Sort themselves out. Come back out in the second half.
Corner kick from the left side. Zach Mathers set to serve this one in. High ball to the back post, that one over everyone's head. Brian Nanasinkum keeps it in play. He'll retreat to Rodriguez L. Narbonne. Ray Sorry. They'll retreat. There you see that pressure from Andy Craven. Tyler Miller. That vision once more from Ray Sorry. Ball left in space though. Sorry gets a foot to it. Mathers immediately for Charles Rankin up the right side. Rankin, a big first touch. Cody Andrews makes him pay for it. Denzel Ulysses going to run onto this attempted clearance. Anthony Wallace wins it away. Andrews takes his time that time. Clever first touch from Andy Craven. And advantage was played. Sam Rogers stayed down behind the play after he got a hold of Andy Craven. Oklahoma City will have the free kick.
Yeah, it's good work from Craven. Let's take a look here. Just gets around Sam Rogers. Rogers keeps his hand there. Does well to knock it away. Craven looking for the foul. Now he gets it.
And you can see there in that same replay that as Rogers tried to get up, kind of grabbed his lower back, went back down. He's in a sitting position right now, and he'll be back to his feet without attention from the trainer. So probably just one of those things where when you go for a ball like that, you miss, and when you're tall, you drop 2 to 3 feet straight to the turf. It doesn't feel great, Aaron.
That was a great effort to keep it away from Craven. But in the end, he's called for a foul. Just going back moments before that, that save by Cody Andrews on Rankin. Twice now we've seen S2 get in behind them, and just that last second touch. Oklahoma City hanging on.
Daly spins one in. Dixon can't control it. And that was a potential for a promising opportunity. What could a goal do for Oklahoma City before the half if they manage to get one?
Bring us right back into the game. Be fantastic for them. But again, it just, other than a ball like that over to Craven or to Dixon, now Miguel Gonzalez out, I'm not sure how Oklahoma City are going to pose a huge threat. And that just may be the way they have to play it. Bunker in with 10 and try and catch something on the counterattack.
Michael Daly and Irvin Parra tangle up. S2 will have another free kick. 44th minute here. And they have a 2-0 advantage both times off of Zach Mathers. The first from open play. The second from the penalty spot. Narbonne. Casual ball to Nanasinkum, and a little bit too casual. In fact, it's out for a goal kick.
Well, the way some of this first half have gone so far, Andrew, that's this could easily go down to 10 men apiece. If they're not careful, Sorry and Parra just have to relax a little bit. Play your game. Don't get yourself in any more trouble.
And last until about the 65th minute when Ezra Hendrickson decides to substitute you.
Well, most likely in Parra's case. Typically gets a break.
Rasmussen. Craven Loops one over the top here, trying to link up with Chad Bond. Can't get to him. Zach Mathers plays it to a very offside Felix Chankum.
Great look from Mathers. You could see what Chankum was just rolling off the shoulder of Cody Andrews, but Andrews steps. Chankum's easily off.
Wallace. Guzman turned over to Mathers. Had an option on the inside. Didn't account for Michael Daly. Bond. 3 minutes of added time is what we're being told to expect. And Zach Mathers, see him kind of do that penguin shuffle. It's a really short footprint, the turf here at Starfire, and if you leave the field with any kind of speed at all, you have to stop yourself in a hurry. You're taking a tumble.
Yeah, going right into the wall of the stands. Good work from Mathers. Oklahoma State are going to need Guzman. Really keep possession in there. He lost that too easily. Mathers almost got away with it.
Rodriguez L forces Rasmussen to chase him. Now dishes up to Ulysses. And Ulysses once more puts that ball out of play.
Now, if there's one player he hopes has a better half, it's Denzel Ulysses. Just been caught on the ball a couple times.
Rankin away in space here. Chankum trying to make a play. Rankin jumps over Cody Andrews. Going to ask for a foul, but not going to get it. Andrews has a right to his space there.
Now he gets it. Oh, gets the free kick. Just Chapala Street just waiting to see if he can run it down.
Mathers plays quickly, and again, too quickly. And Mathers and Chankum now have words for each other. That's more frustration than anger, I'd say.
Good idea from Mathers. Chankum just wasn't quite there yet. One of those things, got to get used to playing with each other just a little bit.
Especially tough for S2 to do. Mathers on a first-team contract, so he usually trains with the first team. And Ezra Hendrickson's usually lucky if he can get him for a day or two before the game. That's kind of the case for all of the first-team contract players.
Yep, it's the time frame when you find out and you know that they're going to be playing with you. Nature of the setup.
Speaking of which, that availability. That was big. Brian Nanasinkum goes down to win a free kick right shy of midfield. Worth noting, just a 5-man bench for S2 tonight. Definitely a reflection of the fact that the first team has a match on Wednesday at home against Orlando City.
And a big game there for the Sounders. Their season rolling.
Ray Sorry. Gonna send one over the top. Denzel Ulysses going on a bit of a run. Misjudges the initial bounce, gets to the second one. Anthony Wallace gets a foot in there. S2 have a throw. Not much time to take it, though.
Good run from Denzo. Just pass gets blocked. It's a little bit better from the youngster.
Ulysses going to back up now. Throws that back to Sorry. Headed up towards Rankin. Guzman gets to a foot to it. It's out for another S2 throw. Quickly taken to Mathers. Back to Ulysses. Rankin. Rankin looking for a cross. Inside from Mathers. Sam Rogers. And we've played 3 and more. Chippewa Street blows the whistle for halftime, but S2 can afford to be pleased. They're up 2-0. Zach Mathers especially pleased. He's scored both of them. Aaron, your thoughts on this first half and how it's going to play into the second?
Well, it was an interesting first half. Great start from S2. Oklahoma City unlucky now to be down to 10 men, I think, but S2 have definitely been the better side and deserve to be in the lead, but it's going to be a tough second half for Oklahoma City. They're going to have to regroup, see if they can probably go on the bit of the defensive, try the counterattack in the second half. I think that's going to be their best options through Craven and Rasmussen. As far as S2, just pour it on in the second half, keep things exciting, and don't allow Oklahoma City back in the game. I'd say the one thing is just keep your heads a little bit more. Don't drop down to 10 men as well.
Yeah, that defensive group for the Sounders will be in charge and in control of the second half, which we will have for you when we return after a break. Again, after 45, S2 leads the Oklahoma City Energy 2-0.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. At work or at play, you're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Oh, hey, she's cute. Nice going, man. Things are going great for you. You've earned a night out. Good drinks, good friends. Yeah, we can go ahead and call this a good night. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Not smart. Yeah, I saw that coming. Say goodbye to her. Ouch, that'll hurt your bank account. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. I hope you like eating frozen dinners. Alone. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Here is my handle and here is my spout.
When I get all steamed up, then I shout.
Tip me over and pour me out. Oh.
It only takes a moment to make a moment.
Cheers.
Take time to be a dad today.
We have reached halftime here at Starfire Stadium in Tequila, Washington, where Seattle Sounders FC2 has built themselves a 2-0 lead over the visiting Oklahoma City Energy. Hello, everyone. Welcome back with us. Andrew Harvey alongside Aaron Heinzen here at halftime. And Aaron, really plenty of fireworks there in the first half, but maybe one of the most important moments, that red card issued to Miguel Gonzalez right around the 35th minute.
Yeah, the whole scenario was Ray Sari grabs Miguel Gonzalez from behind. Gonzalez has a chance to start a counterattack for Oklahoma City, gets grabbed. He reacts a little bit, putting his arm, and we could just take a look at it right here. There's Gonzalez taking off. Sari holds him back. Clear yellow card for Sari. And you could just see Gonzalez raises his arm, pushes off Sari. Now, for me, from Chippewa Street, from his angle, he's thinking he's thrown an elbow right into the face of Ray Sari. And I think both you and I, we discussed it, Andrew. For the both of us, I think that's just a yellow card. He doesn't get a lot of room. He doesn't throw it back and strike him in the face. He's just trying to push off the guy. He's frustrated. It's understandable. Clear yellow card for Miguel Gonzalez. And, you know, if you're going to be absolutely real technical about it, you say, hey, as a player, you can't do that. But guys are going to react to those things. And it wasn't super violent. And so, in my opinion, I think it's just a yellow card. It's tough for Oklahoma City. It's tough on Miguel Gonzalez playing back in his hometown for the first time in a while. But it is what it is. Oklahoma City now down to 10 men. And now they have to go inside and talk about how they're going to get back into this game in the second half. And for me, I think they'll play defensive and trying to get something through Craven and maybe get Dixon more involved and Rasmussen as well. But the one thing we did see that Oklahoma City had is the throw-ins from Harris, and S2 struggled with that. But, again, you have to have possession for a little bit and have the ball in S2's half.
Well, you could see Chippewa Street there. That was pretty much what he was mouthing all the way was you can't do that. Honestly, in a way, he almost looked hesitant to send Gonzalez off. But according to the law of the game, the violent contact to the head, you know, it's one of those things that they've been trying to, one of those points of emphasis that we hear about so often.
Right, it's true, and you know, he's right, and it is technically, but I think sometimes you just have to say, hey, I understand you're frustrated, and again, if he connects and really puts anything into it, 100% it's a red card, but, you know, he's just getting his forearm in there. He wants to just push the guy away, and, you know, maybe if he lowered his arm just a little bit, you would have gotten a break, but, you know, Chippewa Street sees it that way, and you know, he's right at the same time. But on the other side of it, it's like, you know, can the guy get just a little bit of a break here? You see Ray Sari cynically holds him back. You know, the game was getting chippy at that time. This is just after Parras kicks the ball into Rasmussen and draws a yellow card as well. So maybe things are going out on the field that we didn't see. Things were heating up. Nonetheless, you know, unlucky for Miguel Gonzalez, I think, just a little bit. Yeah, you can't react, but that's the way the call went, and so now they're down to 10.
Sure thing. Now, taking a look at this situation from S2's perspective now, you have a 2-goal lead. You're going to have a one-man advantage. you hope, for the entire 45 minutes of the second half, although nothing is certain in this in this game. But how do you come out? What's the right way? Are there any particular risks to maybe getting a little too cavalier with a team that's down a man?
Oh, yeah, of course. You know, you get sloppy, you lose possession. I think Denzel Ulysses, one of those players, the right back for S2, has to clean it up just a little bit, make sure he doesn't lose possession too often, especially when everybody's pushed forward in the attack. But I think the main thing for me is both Sari and Parr just need to relax a little bit. They're some of the leaders on this team, and both those guys have drawn pretty cynical yellow cards. But you got to have to clean that kind of thing up, and you definitely don't want to go down to 10 men, 10 on 10. Keep your advantage. I think another goal in this game is completely over, but right now Oklahoma City hangs in there just by a thread. So there's still a possibility of Oklahoma City come back in the second half, no question about it.
Well, the red card was kind of the major event from the first half, but apart from that, when you look at the soccer that was played, what kind of stuck out to you about the way that S2 was able to control this game?
Well, they just looked fluid. They were keeping the ball. The guys obviously building on that confidence from that win against Portland, and you know, the game down in Texas was tough, but they had a great win here against LA a couple weeks ago. So you can tell, especially Irvin Parra, looking very, very exciting with that shot he had 35 yards out. It's an excellent take. Chankum should finish it, but he's looked lively. You know they're putting pressure on the Oklahoma City back line, and they certainly deserve to be in the lead right now. It's just, can they solidify this and finish it out?
Right. We talked a little bit about how Denzel Ulysses had some difficulties through the first 45, looked a little bit bitter towards the end. This just, I think, his 5th or 6th start of the season as he was brought into the fold a little bit later on. What have you seen out of him, and what would you want to see if you're Ezra Hendricks?
Nothing serious. Just clean it up a little bit. He's lost possession a couple times, looks a little unsure of when and where to pass, and obviously he's got great speed and good technical ability. Can he get forward a little bit more, cause a few more problems? Combine a little bit more with Charles Rankin, but I think mostly for me it's just, can he clean it up a little bit? He's lost possession a couple times, and that's exactly what a player like Craven thrives on. Loss of possession, play Craven in behind the center backs, and he's in. So he needs to clean that up just a little bit. Other than that, S2 looked very in control of this game.
Now, one player who looks particularly in control was Brian Nanasinkum down that left side, really getting involved in the attack this afternoon, causing all kinds of problems for Seattle native and former University of Washington man Michael Harris. And you know, what has that matchup kind of yielded for us so far?
Yeah, they're both physical, hard players, and Harris obviously with his throws, and Nanasinkum really coming into that left back side, getting higher up on the field when they have possession in the midfield, making those runs in behind Oklahoma City's back line. So he showed some promising stuff, and I'm sure he'll show plenty more in the second half. He'll have his opportunities because, you know, a short, man down, you're going to have opportunity to run down those wings all day long because that's going to be where their space is going to be.
Well, Felix Chankum gets about as close as you can possibly get and not, doesn't cash in with a goal. But apart from that, he was kind of, getting very active in that first half. What has to happen for him, or does he just have to keep doing more of the same?
I think he just needs to keep doing more of the same. He was very, very lively, active, making those runs, keeping the ball. Maybe keep the ball just a little bit better when you're underneath the center backs. But all in all, I think Chankum had a great game. Just have to make that finish, and this game's over. But good performance from the first half of Felix Chankum for sure.
Well, S2 currently firing on all cylinders, and they have a 2-goal advantage and a man advantage. We will take a short break, and when we return, we will have your first half highlights and stats, and of course, the second half of action. S2 leads OKC Energy 2-0.
They said I have troll teeth.
That my voice sounded like a possessed baby doll.
That no one would ever love someone as stupid as me.
That I was fat, ugly.
Disgusting.
The effect of bullying is potent.
We will no longer be the silent majority.
Now, when you see online bullying, there's something you can do about it.
We're gonna take action with the I.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness, and so are you.
We are back here at Starfire Stadium in Tequila, Washington. S2 leads the Oklahoma City Energy 2-0 after the first 45 minutes. Andrew Harvey alongside Aaron Heinsohn here for you. And as we get set to gear up for the second 45, Aaron, let's take a look at some of the action in the first half that got us to where we are.
Yeah, we'll start out here with the fantastic S2 goal. Got things rolling for them here in the first half. Sounders 2 took off right away. A lot of good possession, but here it is. Brian Nanasinkum driving down that line. First ball in, there's no one there, but the clearance isn't great. And how about this strike from Mathers? Right in the corner. No chance for Cody Lorendi, the goalkeeper. Just almost reached into it, but great finish from Mathers. That was his first goal. S2 kept things going. This is Irvin Parra and the shot that he had, Andrew. Absolutely fantastic strike. I can't tell if Lorendi got anything on it, but there's Chenkam's got to finish that. That would have made it 2-0 right there for S2. But this was the next one, Parra. And it's a clear call as Bond just catches the back leg of Irvin Parra. Penalty kick. Mathers with a cool, calm finish. S2 go up 2-0 right there. Fully in control in the first half.
So our scoreline 2-0, could have been 3. Also a close chance on that near miss on a diving stop from Tyler Miller coming back the other way on a flick-on header from Andy Craven. And, of course, that red card is the highlight to round things out. But let's take a look at some of the other numbers with our first half stats here. You see him there. Just S2, dominance personified.
8 shots, 2 shots from the Energy. Of course, we talked about that Miller save. Fouls about even. And the passing accuracy about the same. But possession just a little bit more from S2, which is surprising because Oklahoma City never really seemed like they got into the game and really troubled S2, especially at least any possession that was really dangerous, we should say. Perhaps they were able to move it around their back line, but there was nothing where they were really controlling it around S2's goal box. So that will have to change in the second half. It'll be interesting to see what Jimmy Nielsen comes out with for Oklahoma City. I'll be very, very surprised if he goes in some sort of attacking formation. Probably just wants to sit back, see if they can counter and catch S2 sleeping in the second half. It's going to be important because you'll probably see Oklahoma City go very direct, try and catch them relaxing, get Craven behind, get Rasmussen behind or Dixon, and an early goal in Oklahoma City are right back in this.
Well, we talked about it at the top of our broadcast, just 4 points from 6 road games for Oklahoma City this season. As things stand right now, it doesn't look like they're going to get away with any more here, but, you know, this is a strange game, and especially past the 70th minute, strange things have been known to happen. So OKC there is going to really just kind of have to try to weather a storm here, because you imagine S2 is going to come out and try to attack these first 5?
Absolutely. They're going to put pressure right away on Oklahoma City, try and get another goal early on. This thing's closed out. But the longer Oklahoma City hang around, they have a chance to get something back and get right back in this game. So it's going to be important. S2, first 20 minutes, I'm sure Ezra Hendrickson's going to emphasize it. Get another goal, close this game out, and let's call it a night.
Yeah. Well, in terms of calling a night, you look at the bench there, which we'll cover for you again here in just a few minutes. We'll return. Second half kickoff, seconds away here at Starfire Stadium in Tequila, Washington.
The stakes. Expectations are high. Our biggest season yet will break records with elite players and future stars. Innovative technology and new homes. We're growing the game in our communities and across the nation. Are you ready?
We are back at Starfire Stadium. Andy Craven and Chippewa Street there talking, and you can see there from that little gesture from Chippewa Street, no question about what they're talking about. Red card given to Miguel Gonzalez in the 35th minute. Ray Sari also given a yellow card in that instance. He will miss S2's next match, which is on the road at Orange County Soccer Club. That game coming next Saturday. But in the meantime, S2 still have to see things clear here at home. No changes to either side to start the second half. And we are underway. 45 more minutes to go from Starfire Stadium.
And just taking a look at the way Oklahoma City set up there. Guzman has pushed up a little bit further. That loss of possession, though, that's tough.
Ball over the top to Irvin Parra. Parra was pretty certain he was offside, so he holds up his run.
You can just see Bond's going to sit there in the middle. Guzman's going to go forward and go equal with Rasmussen in the midfield, and then Dixon and Craven up top. So good changes there from Nielsen. Going to give Craven a little bit more support. Move Dixon centrally. See if he can't combine against the S2 center backs.
Cody Andrews gets that ball away from Shankin. The left side to Anthony Wallace. Wallace looking for the big switch. Dixon gets a foot to that ball, thought about the immediate shot, and slices.
That's the first piece of action we've really seen from Dixon in a long time this half, or excuse me, in this game. Unlucky on the shot, but better from OKC already.
Well, Dixon will have to feature more heavily, and he is here doing battle with Brian Nanasinkum and winning a foul.
Well, again, we talked about the fast start S2 needed. It's not quite there yet. Big free kick opportunity here for Oklahoma City.
In man-down situations, set pieces always seem to be the great equalizer, Aaron. Just one man in the wall. Ray Sari wants some help, and now Zach Mather's going to come over to provide it. Ball to the near post. That one finds the ground inside the middle of a scrum, but fans harmlessly to the far touchline.
That's a great ball in by Chad Bond, too. Cody Andrews was there. I just don't think he made the contact.
And now we're going to see another long throw-in, courtesy of the handspring of Michael Harris. Looks for a shorter one this time. Still gets a pretty good heave on it. And Tyler Miller going to grab the ensuing ball.
I think we'll see Harris take every deep throw-in that Oklahoma City have the rest of the game.
Shankham and Wallace collide. It's out for an S2 throw. And S2 certainly thinking about the fact that in set-piece opportunities, the counter are definitely ripe options with the speed of Felix Shankham. Harris, only as far as Sari. Spins away from Guzman. That ball served in. Lorendi grabs it.
Looks like Shankham's gone down there with some sort of collision. Seems to be in a lot of pain. It's good work, though, from Guzman. You could see he was a bit tired there in the end of the first half for Oklahoma City midfielder. Really sprinting. Try and close that cross down. Hopefully Chinkham is okay here. Couldn't tell exactly what happens to him. Take a look. Maybe just catches a foot there from Lorendi. It's hard to see. It doesn't look like a Lorendi's foot. Strikes him. Hopefully he's able to walk it off. Did you tell anything there, Andrew? I couldn't see much.
There was nothing discernible to me. You know, it looked like he went in shoulder to shoulder, but he went down. It looked like it was almost a hamstring thing. And the fans here cheering his name. And he will trot over to a sideline so he can re-enter. Here we go once more. Harris with that throw. Goes to Rasmussen, who tees it up for him. Irvin Parra settles underneath it. Partial volley. Chad Bond, Denzel Ulysses, Wallace, Craven, Ray Sari clears his lines and resets. Lorendi looking for Rasmussen. Nonasinkum there. Rasmussen down for Harris. Back for Rasmussen. Rasmussen playing through Dixon. Dixon into the 18. Back to Dixon, who spins and shoots, and off the post. Still in danger, though. Craven serves in another ball. Deflected, and Irvin Parra going to volley things clear.
Well, it's great combination play there between Dixon.
Now a clever touch from Mathers into space for Ray Sari. Has Chankum to the inside. Mathers trailing behind. Ray Sari atop the 18. Zach Mathers can't put his effort on frame.
Mathers just got a little bit of a nudge there from Harris. A good ball from Sari. Here it is. Guzman, Dixon just turns. It's a nice shot. Just strikes off that near post. I think Tyler Miller may have gotten a little piece of that, but it's a good effort from Dixon. Right now, it looks like S2 are the ones playing with 10 men. Oklahoma City have really come out in the second half. Good response from them.
Well, shock and awe, smash and grab. However you want to phrase it, it's a well-known viable strategy to try to come out right at the start of a half and jump somebody before they can play their way into the rhythm of a game. Ball off of Mathers and out. Harris will take the throw. Ball over the head of Craven. Parra goes down, trying to win a call. Harris, meanwhile, spins the ball to the far side. Guzman and Ulysses give chase. Guzman unable to keep that ball in play. Worth noting, Aaron, that Denzel Ulysses has changed his cleats.
That is worth noting. Maybe he just was unhappy with the performance of them in the first half. Tried something new and it didn't work out or something. You never know.
Ball headed in. Dixon toward net, and that one on the wrong side of the netting. But, well, we talked about Alex Dixon needing to be more involved, and that's 2 shots in the span of as many minutes.
Yeah, he's done just that. It's a good response from Oklahoma City. And again, Rodriguez L just talking with Denzel Ulysses right now, just trying to sort themselves out. Oklahoma City are all over them. Things have really worked, pushing those 2 midfielders forward, Rasmussen and Guzman, getting them more involved in the game. They're going to say to S2, yeah, you try and counterattack on us. We'll take it. We're going to push the game to you this time.
Ball just over the head of Chankin. Andrews misplays his clearance. Charles Rankin settles underneath it. His first touch lets him down, though. And when squibs into space, Tyler Miller outside his box sends it back toward midfield. Mathers goes down, perhaps a touch theatrically there, but wins the free kick.
Yep, Mathers was waiting for that contact, gets it. Now looks like Bond's gotten himself in trouble. Nope, I'll take it back. It's going to be Cody Andrews. He's unhappy with that call from Chapala Street. Mathers knew what he was doing, just backed into him, takes the contact. Just see it right here. A little bit of arm on the back. Mathers goes down rather easily, but Andrews called for the foul.
The referee has issued a yellow card in the 54th minute to OKC player number 26, Cody Andrews.
So the score sheet completely full of the name Zach Mathers right now, and the book filled with the names of pretty much everyone else, it feels like. And still another 35 to go. Anthony Wallace takes that free kick pretty quickly. Goes up toward Dixon. Turns it over to Rodriguez L, and L doesn't like the option to go inside, decides to concede the throw-in. The right call, Aaron?
Yeah, it was the right move. It was poor touch from L, but did what he had to do. S2 just need to clean it up a little bit, get themselves back into that first half performance that they showed.
Ball's with Guzman. Back to Wallace. Inside for Bond. And away at the 18 by Rodriguez L. Felix Chankum trying to work his way into space. He had Rankin available for the potential fast break if he could. Wasn't able to get it. And now a free kick in favor of Oklahoma City.
Yeah, another free kick option here for them, as you mentioned, Andrew. Just S2 struggling a little bit with this Oklahoma City change. This has to be the 4th free kick now they've had in the first 10 minutes of the game, 10 minutes of the second half.
This one served in. Rising to meet it, Denzo Ulysses. Still not clear. Miller stays on his line. Guzman trying to get to that ball. Sam Rogers and Brian Nanasinkum getting in front of him. Chankum. Nifty first touch from Chankum, shaking off pressure from Dixon. Parra to his left, Rankin to his right. Goes for Rankin. Bond defending. Back from Mathers. Mathers has everything going but the ball after a well-timed tackle from Michael Daly. Still not out of the woods, though. Irvin Parra swings it back to the right side. Mathers. Sorry. Overlapping ball for Rankin. Cross on the ground. And Francisco Narbone goes for goal and will miss wide of the left post.
That's much better from S2. See Rankin just picking Mathers out the top of the box. He can't get it to him. Ball gets cleared, goes right to Narbone. Can't keep his shot on frame. Great work, though, from Chankum earlier to set that whole thing up. His pass out to Rankin just sends him a little bit wide, and that slows things down for their counterattack. Still nicely done by S2.
Ball sails out of play. OKC throw in, quickly taken by Harris. And whether you're a fan or not, the flip throw, always a crowd pleaser. Nanasinkum, Chankum, Parra. Parra goes for the full switch over to Charles Rankin. Rankin. Up for Zach Mathers, has Ray Sari on the touch off. Forced to go back to Ulysses after a poor touch. Mathers, Sari collides with his man. Mathers into space now. Left-footed shot. Stopped by Lorendi, and Irvin Parra offside as he tries to fight his way to the rebound.
Well, let's rewind that all the way back to the Irvin Parra ball. Fantastic ball to find Rankin. Now here's the little combination. Sorry. Trying to draw a foul, doesn't get anything. We've seen Mathers score these before last year, especially at Sacramento Republic, but this time, good save from Lorendi. Parra can't settle it. He's called offsides. Again, Zach Mathers causing problems in that midfield.
And maybe the new boots still being acclimated to by Denzo Ulysses, as that one played out of touch on the far side. And now another dangerous opportunity for Harris on these throw-ins.
Yeah, really have to try and limit these. This might not be Ulysses' night so far.
High ball toward the back post. Craven up for it. Can't out-muscle. That looked like it might have been Rodriguez L on his interior shoulder. Tyler Miller comes away with the rebound.
And those ones, it's a pretty high ball for anybody to get a head on it with any sort of power, but he's getting him in that box. It's an incredible throw. It's those ones that he keeps down lower that are more like corner kicks that are the real problem.
Brian Nanasinkum. Over the top, Dixon making a run to this ball. And the flag stays down to the end line. Serves one to the back post. Guzman. Denzel Ulysses manages to get a shoulder in to disrupt his header. Oklahoma City remain on the front foot here, and now the quick attempt on the throw not going to be allowed. A substitution the first of the night, and it will be for Oklahoma City.
It looks like it's going to be Daniel Gonzalez coming in for Chad Bond. You can hear the Gonzalez family likes that.
Gonzalez from Yelm, Washington. Like we mentioned, also a member of that 2014 Kitsap Pumas club that made it all the way to the PDL final. Played his college soccer at Peninsula College. Daniel no doubt hoping that he would be on the field with his brother Miguel right now, but Miguel was sent off in the 35th minute.
Well, Daniel Gonzalez does have 2 goals to his name. He scored one most recently in that U.S. Open Cup loss to Colorado Rapids.
We've passed the hour mark here at Starfire Stadium. Sounders FC 2 on top of the Oklahoma City Energy 2-0. But Oklahoma City doing everything in their power to change that. And from the way things have gone the last few minutes, you start to wonder when they're going to score, not if.
Yeah, S2 have had one significant chance in this half, but you're right, Oklahoma City have absolutely dominated. S2 just seemed to be second to the ball here in the second half.
Guzman set to take this kick. Everyone crowded inside the 6. Flick on header, that one from Daly, and it's over the bar.
Yeah, Daly got a clean look at it. No one was really around him. Keeps that one down and on frame, it's in.
(6-2) stands the 29-year-old from Sonoma, California. He managed to get ahead to that ball, but couldn't put it on frame. Harris fighting his way onto this ball. Ray Sari trying to go the other way. Irvin Parra. Parra, some nifty dribbling. Picks out Charles Rankin. Anthony Wallace puts that ball out of play for a throw-in.
It's good defending from Wallace. Ball just wasn't straight at Rankin from Parra, so Wallace is able to break that up.
Throw to Sari, back for Ulysses. Rodriguez L. Brian Nonasinkum can't settle that long cross.
Well, S2 just showing their youth a little bit here and thinking this game is over after the first half. Oklahoma City proving it's absolutely not. Still hanging around, and balls like that one just played by Rodriguez L give that possession back, and here are Oklahoma City now.
This is Wallace. Back to Rasmussen. Ray Sari on a yellow card, but still unafraid and unperturbed. He's a big part of the reason why this Oklahoma City Energy attack hasn't found even more opportunity here in the opening minutes of the second half. Craven flicks that one toward net. Tyler Miller right there. Back pass to Miller. Bounces up a little bit on him. Forces a bit of an awkward clearance. Daly. Gonzalez. Dixon. Dixon looking for Gonzalez on the switch. And Gonzalez enough to win a corner, the third of the game for Oklahoma City.
Great work from Daniel Gonzalez. Showing a little bit of the attack that his brother's got. Gets his team that corner.
Guzman will send this ball from the right side. Low ball, Tyler Miller right up and right down with it. Well, at this level, when you're trying to see a game clear with a lead, how much confidence would you have as a manager knowing that you had Tyler Miller between the pipes?
Oh, tremendous. He's always on. Great reactions. Good leader on the field. You can see him talking right now. Wants this ball cleared away, and that's a poor one from Rogers. That's what Craven provides.
Guzman looking to make something happen here over to Daniel Gonzalez. Craven tried to play him through. Harris. Craven back to Harris. Back to Gonzalez. Into space for Craven, who spins out of that tackle from Narbonne. Narbonne does enough to win the ball and the foul.
Nice work from Francisco Narbonne. It's hectic there for a minute. There was players running all over the place trying to win possession back. Narbonne this time does it. Takes it off of Craven. A little bit of foul there. Ezra Hendrickson going to finally switch things up here.
And we're going to see Felix Chankum sub out in favor of David Olson. And we were remarking to one another, not usual to see Olson come off the bench, but in this case, maybe it's just what the doctor ordered, Aaron.
Nice player. Can hold the ball up. Has 2 goals so far this season. Hold the ball, keep possession. Now we're going to see Irvin Parra go to the center forward position. And the last time we saw that, he had 2 goals and 1 assist against Los Dos, as we mentioned a couple weeks ago. Doesn't have the speed, obviously, as Chankum, but very, very crafty, as we know.
And strikes a pretty decent ball out of the air as well, as the hometown fans are unhappy with that call.
I think this is a really good substitute from Ezra Hendrickson. Chankum had a good game. Wasn't quite getting the service in the second half, but should have had a goal, but that's the way it goes sometimes.
Ray Sorry. Rankin, Ulysses on the overlap. Inside for Sorry. Mathers. Switch to Nanasinkum. Nanasinkum crossing into the area now. Makes a step to the right side, shoots, but it's off frame.
Great work by Nanasinkum. Excuse me, Andrew. Just takes Harris on right here, gets it onto his right foot, gets himself some room.
Cody Lorendi looked like he was there and ready if he managed to put it on frame, but Sounders still finding ways to be dangerous here. Gonzalez. Daly. Daly going over the top looking for Rasmussen. Miller thought about coming off his line. Dixon a header to it. Touchdown for Craven. Craven a left-footed shot. Tyler Miller with a diving stop. And the rebound knocked away by Sam Rogers.
That's a great shot too from Andy Craven. Goes through a crowd. Miller doesn't have to go too far. He sees it coming all the way. It's a good save from Miller. Nice powerful shot though from Andy Craven.
Quickly taken throw-in by none other than Harris, and Rodriguez L puts it out for another. Like you said in the first half, it's like every single one of these is a corner kick. Craven heads that one back into contention. Rogers gets a header to it, and Miller collects it out of the air.
Well, in this case, there weren't too many Oklahoma City players in the box to get that.
Long throw to Parra, who's on it. We'll look for some support. Daly, a well-timed tackle, and that's a great challenge.
Yeah, it does really well to take that off Parra. One more player to beat, and Parra would have had a chance to put that across the box. Looks as though S2 are set to make another change here as well.
It's looking like it. That's Lorenzo Ramos, who's given his transfer papers to the 4th official and is waiting to check in. And now will be the time. So a quick change. He's going to come in for Charles Rankin. And what do you make of Rankin's game?
I thought Rankin had a pretty decent game. Big fan of his speed. I'd like to see him take on players. Wallace did a really good job on that left-hand side for Oklahoma City. Olsen's through here.
This one falls through. David Olson one-on-one. Is it 3? He chips and is wide of the net. Well, he did enough to draw Cody Lorendi to the ground, but couldn't put the ball on frame.
Andrew, I'm looking across the field right now at head coach Ezra Hendrickson. He's just got his hands on his knees. This is a goal for David Olson. Gets maybe just a little too tricky, misses the scoop. I think for sure everybody just wants to see him. For sure everybody on S2 just wants to see him take it wide and slot it home. Maybe Lorendi did enough to keep him from doing that. But again, another big missed chance there from S2, and if it stays 2-0 like this, plenty of time. Oklahoma City have not been without chances here in the second half.
Ball served into Rasmussen. Rasmussen across himself, gets it to Craven. Dixon trying to fight his way onto that ball. Sam Rogers gets a partial clearance, pokes it over. And now it's up to Zach Mathers. Mathers a foot to it. Wallace immediately back looking for Rasmussen. That ball over the head of Nonastinkum. Rasmussen serves one in. Dixon shoots and scores. It's 2-1 in the 71st minute.
And it's game on. That is the classic tale of the game. If you don't finish off your opponent and they hang around, and now they are right back in it. And then miss by Chenkum in the first half, and that miss by Olsen. Just like that. Great ball from Rasmussen right across the front of the goal. Dixon, no problem. He has had a night and day. He's absolutely absent in the first half. Now he's been fantastic here. He moved to the center of the field, combining with Craven. 2-1, Oklahoma City right back in this.
Third goal of the season for Alex Dixon. His last league goal came back on May 20th in a 1-0 win against Orange County SC. So now those missed chances from S2, a little bit more than momentary frustrations.
Well, S2 certainly came out here in the second half thinking this game was over. Oklahoma City down to 10 men. They're up 2 goals. But again, they just don't. Losing the 50-50s. Nice win there by Gonzalez, and Oklahoma City are right back in this.
Craven turns quickly. Rodriguez L blasts it back. This one rolling towards Cody Lorendi. Ezra Hendrickson, no doubt looking at a much longer 18 minutes and change than he would have wanted.
S2 just without losing your focus and without losing your concentration and your energy, just slow things down a little bit. Keep possession, keep Oklahoma City on the defensive. A couple times now David Olsen's lost possession there.
Gonzalez going for the quick ball, finds Dixon. The goal scorer from moments ago. Back to Rasmussen. Rasmussen up, through, and on the ground to Andy Craven. Craven meets it at the end line and wins the corner.
And there's that run that Craven does so well in between the center backs, out onto the wings. Saw him do that plenty of times last year with S2. Wins the corner.
Guzman will send this ball in from the left alleyway. A huge crowd getting in the face of Tyler Miller. Low ball swung near post. Guzman would probably like that back. Gonzalez on the rebound. Resets to Harris. Harris trying to serve one into the area here. Getting a foot to it. It's Cody Andrews, but it's out for a goal kick.
Well, Andrew, at halftime, you and I were talking about it. We're thinking this is a game we just kind of see out. It's over. S2 have the 3 points, and we move on, and now it's a complete battle, and it shouldn't be at this point. We've seen S2 get in these positions before, but they've had a great lead, and somehow in the second half they just don't seem to wake up. Things come back to bite them. So very interesting last few minutes here, last 15 minutes, I should say. But you can see it. If you've watched the game long enough, you can see it. The momentum is changing right now, and Oklahoma City have it. Sounders, too, aren't quite sure what to do.
And another misplayed ball by Denzel Ulysses. It's out. Anthony Wallace quickly takes the throw into Alex Dixon.
Well, the best way to fight it is just to keep yourself moving, keep doing your job out there, make smart decisions.
Ball drops into space. Ulysses just dumps it away. Andrews plays that one off Irvin Parra and out. Well, you talk about some of those late let-ups. Maybe the poster example, May 28th, a 2-2 draw against the Sacramento Republic when they scored a go-ahead goal in the 90th minute. And with the final kick of the game, the defensive lapse allowed Tyler Blackwood to punch in an equalizer.
No question. That was a big one that comes to mind. Oklahoma City have come back before here as well to tie 1-1 last year. It was a similar last-second goal.
That ball left in space. Guzman does well to get to it at midfield while Lorendi was way out of his net. Harris going up the side. Nanasinkum loses his footing. Sam Rogers is there on the cover. Back in the middle for Zach Mathers, who's going to go down. Michael Daly will join several of his teammates in Chippewa Street's book here in the 76th minute.
Nice work by Mathers. Just take a look. He knows it's coming. Daly is a little bit late. Catches Mathers. Easy call for Chippewa Street.
Well, that's both center backs on the field right now for Oklahoma City in the book, both Andrews and Daly. Andrews, the most recent addition, back in the 54th minute. Narbonne went too early.
Well, all credit so far in the second half to Jimmy Nielsen and his coaching staff to get this Oklahoma City side going again. From the very beginning, they've come right out. Wanted to get something out of this game. They did not give up.
Mathers dribbling through a couple of defenders, gets the ball to Sari. Sari looking for space for a cross, rolls one in and unable to put the ball on frame at the back post is David Olson. It was a tight angle wide of the net, but if he had, there was nobody there.
Great work from Sari down this line, puts it across. David Olson just can't quite turn it on frame. Of course, he should finish it. Been a frustrating few minutes for him since coming in. Great work from Sari, and obviously Mathers created Sari's opportunity.
Well, Philip Rasmussen, a very tough man and not going to show any signs of pain, but there's no way that that doesn't sting just a little bit as Brian Nanasinkum blasts that ball off and out of play.
S2 seem to be rising to the occasion just a little bit more now. Appear to have come out of their slumber.
Harris throws in, trying to get it to Craven. Olsen can't get it away though. Harris, Craven, short to Gonzalez, play on signal from Chippewa Street. Narbonne gets to that ball. Goes down after it's away. Slide tackle there on the far side. Whistle goes. This is Juan Pablo Guzman, and another yellow card will be given to Guzman here in the 78th.
Now Guzman comes in with a hard tackle on Narbonne. Take a look at this first one from Gonzalez. It's a foul right there. And there's that tackle, absolutely, by Guzman on Lorenzo Ramos, excuse me. A bit of a dangerous tackle. I'm a little surprised Daniel Gonzalez didn't get a little talking to after that as well. Physical game, excuse me, Andrew.
Oh yeah, no shortage of that. You know, pretty much one of the only things that we were close to level on at halftime from a statistical standpoint is fouls, and well, we've pretty much stayed right there. Ball up to Para. Defended tightly by Andrews there. Going for the quick cross to keep the ball in play. Daly heads it out the far sideline.
Well, if you're a neutral fan, this has become quite an exciting game. No idea how this is going to end. S2 could easily settle things down, keep control of the ball, score another goal, and it's all over. In the same hand, Oklahoma City nicks something back, equalizer, and away we go.
Olsen lays this off for Zach Mathers. Mathers has space. Mathers for Ramos. Inside for Mathers, and he can't connect as Irvin Parra and he kind of get crossed up on each other's runs.
Yeah, Olsen just trying to took a swing at it, misses. Here come Oklahoma City.
Here's Philip Rasmussen at a full stride. Nanasinkum trying to recover. He'll send one inside to Craven. Daniel Gonzalez back to Rasmussen. Rasmussen, plenty of time, space, picks out his cross, and finds no one but Lorenzo Ramos. Guzman up for Wallace. Wallace keeps that ball in play. And his cross is deflected off of Denzo Ulysses, the 5th corner of the game for the Oklahoma City Energy.
Guzman's another player who in the first half just did not come out. And completely different here in the second half. He's had a very good performance.
We enter the final 10 minutes. Guzman to send this corner kick from the left side. Ball on the way. Headed back across and straight to the chest of Tyler Miller. He's more than happy to find that one drop right into his hands. Zach Mathers looking for a counter, but no support and 3 defenders between him and the ball. He collides with Harris and goes down, enough to win a free kick.
That's great work again from Zach Mathers. It's one of the first team players out here. Takes 3 guys on, but Mathers, right as Miller makes this save, you can see him go down there. Right as Miller makes this save, Zach Mathers takes off. Everybody else is 20, 30 yards behind him. And showing great heart, Mathers wants to close this game out. A couple of these other guys who just came into the game, Olsen, Ramos, should be making those runs as well.
And now 3 out of 4 backline players in Chippewa Street's book as Michael Harris will join his 2 center backs. 82nd minute, Mathers over this ball. Mathers delaying his run up, now just going to chip this one toward net, and it's out for a goal kick.
Just trying to pull the Oklahoma City defense a little bit deeper, make that second run.
Olsen trying to go over the top for Para. Mathers. Harris steps onto it at midfield, rolls one forward to Alex Dixon. Dixon tries to chop it back in with the back of his foot. Tackled away by Brian Nanasinkum up to Irvin Para, who is rightfully flagged offside.
Great tackle by Nanasinkum. Fans are screaming at him, but Para did come from the other side of the halfway line. It's a good call.
Long ball over the top, headed toward net, and out for a goal kick. And now we're going to see Tyler Miller begin that long 80th minute plus flirtation with how long he can delay taking this kick before he gets booked. Chippewa Street watching things very intently from Tyler Miller. And now Miller runs up, he'll put it away. That ball straight to the foot of Irvin Para. I don't think he was expecting it to fall to him. Olsen over the right side, headed away by Wallace. Ray Sari still applying pressure. Irvin Para gets a foot to it, thought about going for goal and puts it wide of the net.
Again, great work by Sari to break that up. Finds Para. Probably not the best option to shoot. Maybe he cuts that back for Ray Sari or puts it across the front of the goal.
Long ball from Lorendi. Rodriguez L first to it. Ramos the second. Para the third. And he'll send it straight back to Lorendi. Sign, seal, deliver. Return to sender. Another long ball over the top. Miller going to let this one skip. Grabs it off the bounce. S2 want these 3 points at home very badly, Aaron. They're on the road their next 3 games at Orange County. Back up to the Vancouver Whitecaps FC2. And then down to the team that no one wants to play right now, Real Monarchs. Dixon fights his way onto this ball, has Craven inside, finds him, Craven's open, sliding tackle, Tyler Miller goes down, a penalty. Handball the call. Brian Nanasinkum laid down in front of that ball. It goes off his arm. And in the 85th minute, Oklahoma City will have a chance to equalize, man down or no.
Well, there's no reaction from Nanasinkum. It's a great run again by Dixon. Sinkum goes down.
I'm
not sure if I'm seeing the handball there. Absolutely. Nanasinkum goes down, maybe from Chapala Street it looks like, but you can see Nanasinkum. He doesn't jump up and argue at all at Chapala Street for his credit, but he certainly shakes his head. Take a look at it again. Here's Craven. You see it right there. It strikes his hand, no doubt about it, and that's when Craven reacts. From that first angle, we couldn't see it as well, but handball, no doubt.
Well, fairly given, and now how many times have these two squared off against one another in training, scrimmages? Tyler Miller staring down his old teammate Andy Craven. He's stopped 2 penalties in open play this season. Does he have it in him here to stop another? Craven immediately right side of the net. We're level 2-2 in the 86th minute.
Call him as you like, Andy Craven. Does it in his old stadium. It's a good finish from Craven. That's his 3rd goal this season. All 3 were penalty kicks. Took 2 against Portland on Saturday. Nice finish from Craven. On Saturday against T2, he had to go left and then right. He can do both sides. Miller, no chance. And this has to be a bitter pill right now for S2 to swallow. Incredible comeback. Leave nothing aside from Oklahoma City. They have fought incredibly well this second half, but S2 have just really handed this game to them. No doubt about it. Go to those chances. Chankum's miss. Olsen's miss.
His other miss off the post.
Off the post, shot from Para. They still have time to get something out of this.
Opportunity for a throw in here. Third goal of the season for Andy Craven. He scored 2 in that 3-1 win against the Timbers, and if I recall correctly, both of those came from the spot as well,
Yep,
didn't they?
That's right, they're both penalty kicks, and as I mentioned, they had to go left, went left the first time, and second time against Kendall McIntosh went right. Kendall McIntosh, by the way, saved one in that. It's actually 4 penalties in that game.
Nanasinkum. Anthony Wallace. Lorenzo Ramos trying to hold on to this ball. Denzel Ulysses and another large touch from Ulysses. S2 able to stay on the front foot. They have a throw. Throw to Mathers. Mathers hoping to turn here. Attempt takes a deflection. Mathers going to switch out balls here. He looks like he's lining up for a long throw of his own. Serves this one in. Brian Nanasinkum can't get the connection he wants. It's wide of the net and out for a goal kick.
No, Nanasinkum's ball was bouncing really high. Had to come back and reach up. Just doesn't get over it. Oklahoma City just going to try and see this out. They will be thrilled with this point. S2 may have a couple minutes of stoppage time. Still an opportunity for one more chance.
Lorendi. Rogers. Guzman over to the left side. Dixon giving chase. Gets to it and is past Ulysses. Dixon. Is that out for a corner? It is.
Dixon's really been giving Ulysses a hard time in the second half. Incredible pace as well, just getting around that corner. Ulysses can't stop him. Another corner here for OKC.
Ball in from Guzman. Toward net. Headed by Mathers, still in the area. Dixon gets touched to it, and it's on frame, but Tyler Miller is there. He's going to try to play quickly. Rogers back to Nanasinkum. Nanasinkum has to play quickly. Picks out Ramos. David Olson, back heel to Ramos. Left side, David Olson in the area. He shoots and scores! scores! The 90th minute! On the counter, David Olson has put S2 on top.
Well, I got to tell you, Andrew, David Olson has to be thrilled that went in. Because at this point, as far as I'm concerned, and probably a lot of the people in this stadium, part of the reason the game's tied up is his fault. 100%. Great finish, great reaction. You can see it early on. Olson tries to take off. Miller isn't allowed to take the throw. Olson continues his run. S2 does a fabulous job of working it all the way up. And look at the relief on that man. Takes it perfectly. Cody Lorendi, no chance. Great finish by David Olson. And that starts from a fantastic ball, by the way, from Brian Nanasinkum. Under some pressure.
3 minutes of added time is what we will play here. We're in the first of them already. Olson misses on the chip, misses off the post, and finally, third time's the charm. And funny thing, potential game-winning goals have this incredible ability to make people forget earlier misses, don't they, Aaron?
They certainly do. I'm sure you'll be talking about it after the game, but this one isn't over.
Far from it. The S2 have it in them to see this one through to 3 points. Just over 2 minutes remaining to get there.
And to be fair to David Olson, this is the first time he's been a substitute on this team coming in. Maybe it's just not quite his favorite way to start a game, but he's got to be happy with that finish now.
Third goal on the season. Last one came on April 22nd in a 3-1 loss against the Real Monarchs.
Big moment here for S2.
Another long throw in from Harris. Straight toward goal. Tyler Miller gets a hand to it, can't hold it though. Out towards Zach Mathers. Mathers tries to take a touch to settle. Rasmussen. Did Mathers play it off of him and out of play? No, Rasmussen has the throw. Tried to take it quickly. There was still another ball on the pitch. And that is going to allow Michael Harris to come over. At the end of the second of 3 minutes of added time now. Michael Harris gets a lot underneath that ball. Miller settles underneath it, grabs it, and takes that one right off the head of Chad Bond. Forgive me, that's Cody Andrews. Throws into the space. Lorenzo Ramos and Alex Dixon get a track back for it. Dixon wins, goes back to Lorendi. Less than a minute now. Rodriguez L takes that ball out of the air. Sorry chests it down. Over to Mathers, who has some space. And Mathers just going to dump that one over the end line.
Yeah, that's going to be the right move. No one's going to be getting around him. Brian Nanasinkum just keeping his spot. Olson the only one in front of him. Mathers happy to let that one go.
Long ball away from Lorendi. Headed down by Daly. L goes up, collides with Craven. Appeals for handball. Chippewa Street waves them all off. And here comes Ray Sari to run underneath this ball. He's going straight for the corner. Has options to his inside. Ray Sari doesn't seem to care. Sari, defended by Guzman. Retreats along the far sideline. It's turned over to Wallace. Wallace goes down and wins a free kick.
That's a foul by Lorenzo Ramos. He'll absolutely take that.
And it won't matter. S2 will take, forgive me, no. Well, you heard that definitive whistle. You thought that might be it. No, Ray Sari going to be given his second yellow. So on top of the 5-card suspension, Sari stacks up a double yellow. And, well, we said this game probably wasn't going to finish with 21 players.
Well, I thought this foul was on Lorenzo Ramos, but Sari gets him first. And then you could see Sari yelling out, and it is the reaction. Chippewa Street doesn't like it, gives him a second yellow. Both teams down to 10 men now.
Ball bouncing here, and now the final whistle will go. So a final mental mistake on the part of S2 as Ray Sari gets himself sent off. Ezra Hendrickson won't be happy about that, but again, with David Olson grabbing that winner in the 90th minute, he can afford to let some of the mistakes roll off his back.
Well, it's just been an incredible second half, Andrew, after a first half that saw S2 completely in control. Just to recap the whole thing, Oklahoma City going down to 10 men there, and you know, to be honest, they just had no business getting back in the game, but here's the start of it. David Olson misses this breakaway after he subs on. Here's Sorry with his effort, puts it across. Olsen again, can't find the target. You just sense that this tides were beginning to turn, and they do. This perfect ball over to the top. Rasmussen plays it right through. Dixon, that's 2-1. And the momentum continued to stay with Oklahoma City. S2 just could not bring themselves to get back into it. As Dixon again with the speed. Nonasinkum call for a handball. It's correct call. Craven equalizes, and you think this is going to be it. It's going to be 2-2. In fact, I was thinking Oklahoma City had a chance to get a victory here, but S2 dig in, and this counterattack, great ball there, and David Olsen puts the finishing touches on it to get his team the victory tonight. What a game, Andrew.
And just what lovely combination play as well on that build up to the final goal. The most important one. You see Craven and Mathers, former teammates there. Mathers can afford to have light shoulders. You can see the frustration for Craven. But Aaron, earlier in the season we talked about late moments. Mistakes are happening and games are slipping away. Well, tonight the mistakes still happen, but S2 rallied back. Is this the sign of something more for this team?
Well, I think it was such a crazy second half. I think it's a start. I'm sure Ezra Hendrickson and John Hutchinson and the coaching staff are looking at this saying this is absolutely what we've probably talked about before. We talk about the Sacramento game. We should not be seeing this, especially when you have 11 players on 10, and it ended up being 10 on 10. I think, yes, the positive for sure was winning the game and getting that winner from David Olsen. But I think there's a lot of things that S2 and Ezra Hendrickson will take a look and not be super excited about the fact that this game absolutely got turned on its head. They let Oklahoma City get back in. They went down to 10 players. They missed a lot of chances, and you got away with a victory. That part you got to be excited about. Absolutely, great win for them. But the way it came about, I think they're going to go over it and say, you really have to make a note of this. This cannot happen again.
Well, never a dull moment when these teams play each other. There will be more fireworks when they play the reverse fixture at OKC on October 15th. But your final score from Starfire, thanks to David Olsen, Seattle Sounders FC 2-3, OKC Energy 2. For all of us here at Starfire, including Aaron Heinzen and our wonderful crew at Boots Rappers Productions, I'm Andrew Harvey saying so long, thank you for joining us, and we hope to see you next time.